project today. It's a live stream Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's most Mondays when I'm available. And today I've got some bark mounted up. I got a peculiar piece of bark mounted up. I'm not exactly sure what this shape is going to lend well to. In fact, I really didn't want to use this piece of bark, but here we are. And yeah, I've got a few tools lined up on the wall here today and a full day of work ahead of me. But I just thought it'd be a great way to start the morning, to have a nice cold cup of coffee. Wow, a little heavy on the cinnamon there, huh, Alec? And it's like the cinnamon challenge over here. You get some carving done, get a little warm up. So the idea here is to do maybe 45 minutes or so, 30 minutes of warm up carving in the morning, and the live stream is some way for me to engage you guys and hang out in the morning, because there's just not a lot of other ways to engage everyone in real time other than the live stream. It's super fun. Why am I explaining why I live stream? I don't know. But anyway, here's this timer. Here's this timer. These are kind of fun. So I'm going to set it up in this corner so you can see it. I set it for 30 minutes because there's no 45-minute setting. So anyway, I got my sacrificial tool here. This is an old Henry Taylor, I believe. Probably a number 5. I'm going to guess 1.5 inches. And I use these larger tools for clearing mostly because I sharpen them less often. And they're good for clearing material away from the surface without damaging the finer, nicer, more well-maintained edges that I have. Hey, Brad, how you doing? So yeah. Oh man, I had a great weekend. Some friends from church got married in my parents' yard, and that was a beautiful wedding, and a lot of friends were there, so that made it extra fun. And my book came out. There's I guess you'd call it a soft launch, where a lot of stores and the website Fox Chapel has the book available. So that's been really cool. Here, I have one right next to me so you can see that. There it is. So that's really fun. I've always wanted to do this, write a book, so that's cool that this is available now. There's lots in here, but anyway, I'm excited for that. So that's coming out. Not out on Amazon yet, I guess. Amazon's slower, so if that's a question that you guys are wondering about, I think it is cheaper on Amazon, but you're not going to get the book right away. So if you're patient, you can do it through Amazon. If not, you can do it through the link. I pasted a link in this video below. Honestly, I don't know if it is any cheaper. You guys can tell me. Man, this is not an ideal piece of wood for a portrait, that's for sure. So I'm going to have to be creative here. And sometimes it's kind of fun to get yourself in a weird position with these odd kind of throwaway pieces of bark. Not that they're no good, it's just you don't know what to do with them. And so you feel like usually they're the last to get carved. The bark looks good. Not many on cottonwood bark. The book looks good. Not many on cottonwood bark. Thank you, Daniel. Hey, Bamonti. Hey, things are well. Yeah, the book is not on cottonwood bark necessarily only. The book is so I don't want to be dishonest about the contents of the book. So the main project is a cottonwood bark piece. Well, not the main project. This is just one project, but these 3 are all in different woods. So we've got cottonwood for one, birch, and then we've got basswood. So these are the kind of 3 main projects that are covered from start to finish. But then there's a bunch of other projects in here that do involve other types, like bark, and use bark as a demonstration piece. But don't think that you're just getting a bark book. You're getting a book with different types of woods. So, because that's what I do. I carve in different types of woods. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. What on earth? I could do something. Man, this dusty piece of bark. So with the warm-up carving, it's fun to do something kind of loose and whimsical. So part of me just wants to have some fun and make a goofy person, a goofy kind of face. Excuse my camera. Had a fantastic Sunday. Santa head with a large boggin. I'm not seeing the... Oh, I see, with the thing coming down. Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah, totally. Yep. You got me, Lauren. Oh, man. Lauren Gross. I was just about to mention church, Lauren. So Lauren and Zach are two really close friends of mine that go to my church. And I was about to say, we had an awesome service yesterday. And I was joined by, for lunch yesterday, I was joined by Lauren and Zach and my friend Stan and his wife, who I've yet to meet, childhood friends from when I was a teenager. Who I haven't seen. Maybe I've seen him once since I was a teenager. And really, really great folks. And so it was cool to see them. The funny thing is, when we got to a restaurant, we sat there for 30 minutes, didn't get served even water. And so because we were late for an event, we had to leave. So it wasn't exactly a great time for the food, but it was just, it was good for the people that we hung out with. That was fun. So enjoyed that. But yeah, I like the idea of Santa, but I really don't like the idea of Santa. I mean, oh gosh, I could carve a Santa. Hello from Germany, Kane says. Santa head. I mean, yeah, I could do a Santa. I just don't like carving Santa. I like carving Santa once in a while, but I don't know. I'm obsessed with green men, apparently, because I'm just carving some weird elongated green man. I mean, it's very apparent that I'm obsessed with green men. You've seen my stuff. I don't know. Santa would be better, probably. Probably be a good one, but don't do Santa. We see enough Santas in the carving world. That's kind of how I feel, Dale. I don't know. Anyway, hey, George. George! Good to hear from you. Oh, man, we got all the friends in the chat. All the pals. Oh, man. So I've got a portrait carving getaway coming up in a little over a week. And I'm excited for that because so far the running thing is that you come to this event and it's just like we just make a bunch of new friends. It's super cool. Yeah, I just feel like the people that have come to that event are my buddies, and I don't know how. I think it's because of how small the workshop is, and it's at my house, and we're just there's quality time. There's a lot of downtime with one another. It's just a very unique experience to the workshops that I've taught my whole life, which are usually in larger numbers. I think there's just the personal quality of being in my home studio that makes it more friendly and more warm, and it's just such a positive. It's just a fun experience for me. So, yeah, I feel like it's a way for me to make friends. Portrait carving getaway. I don't exactly understand that, but how many pieces will be available for the Shackleton series on Friday? There should be probably 3, maybe hopefully 4. There's 3 done now. But I'll probably have a 4th one done by then if my commissions allow me to do that. So I think 4 would be the ideal number. Yeah, and I had to postpone the event. I appreciate everyone who is looking forward to seeing that at a minimum. Maximally trying to buy one. Kane says, unfortunately, I can hardly speak English, but your work inspires me a lot. Because of you, I started carving and have been doing it for 6 months. I love it. That is awesome, Kane. Thank you. Well, I don't know. Well, if you didn't use Google Translate just then, you speak English you write English very well. So, and I appreciate that. That's very encouraging to me. So, Doug says, Alec, where do you get your bark? And how about a video on sharpening? Hey, Doug, there is a video. Just Google my name and sharpening, and I have a long video on sharpening. And then your second question was, where do I get my bark? I find it, but then I also lately haven't been able to make it out. So I've been buying it from a friend who unfortunately has retired from distributing bark to the masses. But so that's not really of much use. But I've used BC cottonwood bark in the past. They have some really nice bark. So that would be a suggestion for you guys. But most of my life I haven't. Most of my life I've either purchased from my friend or have gone out west and collected it myself. So thanks, Belmonte. He says he's stoked to see the release. A second, the bark question, right? Jill. Creatures. Sorry, atheist, but love wood carving and I love Santas. But I like woodland creatures. Oh, sorry, atheist. Are you apologizing for being an atheist? Because I mentioned church. Oh, man. Okay, I don't know why that's so funny to me. I don't understand my sense of humor, really. I was at a youth event last night, speaking of atheism, and this doesn't really relate to atheism, spoiler alert. But the high school kids were laughing at me, one, because they said I have a funny laugh, and two, I laugh at things that they don't think are funny. So I don't know what my sense of humor is, but I'm kind of... Can you tell I'm self-conscious now? Yeah, that's what kids will do to you. Make you self-conscious. I feel self-conscious. All right, because Cottonwood Bark, is it a website or an Instagram thing? BC Cottonwood Bark, they have a website. They have a website, indeed. And it's just that, I think. If you search, like, BC Cottonwood Bark, it should come up. Well, I'm already having fun, so thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. This is a good time for me. I'm telling you what. And they're just goofing around today. A little warm-up carve. Not overthinking it. And because of it, we're probably just making something a twist on something that we've made before, but I'm having fun either way. I'm just trying to get the juices flowing in the morning, which isn't always easy to do. You know, I'm a slow starter in the morning many times. I have to really get myself motivated. The warm-ups can help with that. I live in Yuma. I can trade ironwood for bark. Where's Yuma? Oh, the mighty sandbox in Arizona. Mighty sandbox. That sounds cool. Not a lot of bark out there, though. A sip of the old coffee. Thank you to my neighbor, who's so gracious in providing the honey from his bees to help me with my allergies, because my allergies have been just consistently bad every day for the past this entire spring, really. You know, I really ought to have a picture here to inspire this carving, to keep it from becoming just like some other carving I've made, but just carving from, just kind of ignoring that for today. It's fun to ignore that every once in a while. In Germany rather, Kane says, carving is unfortunately not very common. There's a lot in England. I have to work a lot with a translator, but the many videos I watch in English help me improve my English. Yeah, I mean, your writing is fantastic, so that's very cool. Interesting that there's not a lot. I'd think that there was a lot more carving in Germany because of the Black Forest, but apparently not. Daniel says, I carve late into the night. Body's already gotten adrenaline going. I feel you about morning time doing that. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I was kind of going for sadness in this one. You got it, Daniel. I'm glad you can see it. In other news, I picked up a truck for work, like a work truck that it's going to be an excuse to start making some bigger stuff. Like now I can lug around longer distances. So I'm going to start putting bigger carvings in the releases in the near future here. And that's going to involve a process of me learning how to ship projects of larger scale. You're not talking, not necessarily giant, but like we're talking life-size busts, stuff like that. I want to start being able to release that stuff. And to do that, it's going to require some advanced shipping techniques, but I may even make available drop-offs locally. So that means if someone buys a carving in Toledo or somewhere not too far from here, and it's a sizable enough carving, I can take the carving, put it in the back of the truck, and drive it to the individual. And maybe even for, larger pieces, probably for larger pieces. And not worry about breaking down. And I've got a bunch of, I've always had old cars. So, luckily this one's not quite as old. So, but that'll hopefully be helpful. So you guys doing good? Talk to me. Anyone get the book yet? That's a self-gratifying question, but I'm just curious. I know a lot of people in the comments picked it up of my last couple of videos, so I really appreciate the support there. And it's #1 in carving or woodworking projects on Amazon, which is that's cool, man. I don't know how many carving projects are in that category, but that's very cool. So, muchas gracias. Oh, all right. Just ordered the book. Lucas Cost, everyone. If you want to see a fantastic carver, go to Lucas Cost's YouTube and Instagram channel. You can see his comment here below. He is awesome. So good. Such a good carver. One of my favorites for sure. So someone to look out for in the coming years as world domination wood carver. He's very young. He's younger than I am, and just super talented. I think he's maybe a year or two younger than I am. Not much younger, but very, very talented carver. And it's been cool seeing him come up in the carving world in the last few years, and his dedication to it and all that. It's very cool. Elizabeth, if I get your subscription, can my husband and I share? Yes, you may, Elizabeth. Actually, that's kind of a fun idea, and that's fine by me. And nice of you to ask. Very nice of you to ask. She's referencing my carving school, which is, you know, it's a online service that I provide to teach carving. Queens entered the room. Who's that? What does that mean? Let's see. Purchased one of your carvings. Love it. Hey, thanks, Attorney Bailey. I saw that you purchased one. I'm so glad you like it. Look at you guys. Pre-ordering on Amazon. Awesome. Maybe getting one on Father's Day. Kane says he has to get back to work. Thank you very much for the videos and inspiration. Hope someday that I can carve it remotely as good as you. Take care. Ah, for sure. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, of course, Lucas. You're the main. Todd, how do you fasten the bark? 2 screws in the back. I've got inch and, I don't know, 5/8 or something in the back here. And I'm bumping the camera like crazy, but what else is new? It's hard to have a tripod in between you and a carving and not bump it. It's my wife, Alec, that asked about the closets. No way. That's too funny, Daniel. That's awesome. I didn't see the last name there. My bad. You guys are cute. That's for sure. For asking that and being on the same live stream. That's hilarious. I would love if you guys joined together on the same account. That's fine. You got to expect people are doing that, right? When you have something like that, subscription service. And there aren't that many couples that both carve, so that's fun. I may be wrong on that, but I've seen couples come to carving events before that both of them carve, and they're taking different classes usually, but that's really fun. Maybe I can get my wife to carve when she retires as a counselor. That would be neat. I'm starting to wind this project down. I'm not going for too long. It's been close to a half hour. What is it, 23 minutes so far? We'll go for a bit longer. I shouldn't say we're winding it down just yet, but or at least we're more than halfway through. Luciano is from Milan. He says, hello. Hey, Luciano. Elizabeth says she just started and she's excited. What would you suggest the best thing for a beginner to carve? I have a ton of beginner carving projects, Elizabeth, on my YouTube channel that I think are some good starting points. You know, if you find one of those that interest you, I think that would be a good place to go. It's just a straight knife blade like this, 1.5 inch blade. Those projects are mostly one tool projects. And a lot of them are in like 2x2 blocks of wood, like this one. And 4 inches long, something like that. So it's pretty easy to get the wood. But if you're trying to carve bark, the online school has a bunch of has bark related projects, and it has basswood related beginner projects as well. And it's all on the school. Since you guys are talking about the school has a bunch of it's organized by category. So you'll see when you subscribe that you'll get access to the beginner, intermediate, and advanced stuff. And you just want to hang out in the beginner territory for a little while until you get comfortable. And I mean, by all means, peek through the intermediate and advanced stuff. I mean, I'm all for beginners trying stuff that's out of their league, because then they can sort of challenge themselves, and you never know. I mean, so it's always good to aim high. So Todd says he's just getting back into carving. Looking forward to learning from you. Thanks, Todd. Atanak says, hello, I want to be a sculptor, but I have no idea how to start my journey. Do you have any advice? Your work is amazing. Well, my advice is pretty simple. And the first thing is to, first of all, establish a carving routine or a sculpting routine. You have to learn to sculpt to be a sculptor. The most important part of being a sculptor is to be able to sculpt. And it's easy to kind of get distracted by the other pieces of it when you're trying to make a business out of it. And just taking the time every day to carve or sculpt or whatever type of sculpture you're doing, not necessarily carving, is the most important thing. And I know that's kind of palm to forehead, dumb, kind of obvious advice, but I think it bears mentioning that you just actually carve every day, even if it's for an hour or two a day. You'll improve a lot just from carving even just an hour a day. So yeah, so carving, of course, is important or sculpting to be a sculptor, and people kind of forget that. And I would say study other sculptors, learn from other people who you admire, whose work you admire, whose life journeys you admire, their work ethic or the meaning behind their art, you admire that, and learn from them. Have mentors, even if you don't know who they are. They could be virtual mentors. A lot of my mentors in carving, I didn't know. I haven't met in my life once, and so those people still had a big impact on me, even though I hadn't met them before. And so I'd find someone who you can look up to and you can learn from. And I say find someone in each category of life to influence you in business and art, in your spiritual journey, as you begin to understand who you are and what you're here to do, to find meaning in your life. I think that's also very important as an artist, is to understand why you're carving, why you're sculpting, you know, what's the purpose of it all. For me, it's very connected to my faith, and people are surprised to hear that, because a lot of times I'm carving these weird, these, such as this creature, which isn't traditionally, although shows up in architecture in the church, it isn't really typically thought of as a Christian symbol. I'm inspired very much by my faith, and it gives me a reason to make things that are beautiful. And so I would look into that. Why do you want to do it? Because really, it's not the best way to make a living, necessarily. So finding the reason why you're doing it will make your life a lot better. This is cottonwood bark. Is it better to start learning on cottonwood bark, Daniel asks, rather than basswood? I first started with basswood, and more woods are going to relate to basswood than cottonwood. So it might be best to start with basswood, unless you just intend to solely carve in cottonwood, in which case, then just go right to cottonwood because it's easier, it's softer. Some people find it more challenging because it's so soft that it's hard to control, but I'm so used to it now that it's not the case for me. I'm a fairly new carver who carves once a week in a group in Plains, Montana. At the end of your sessions, we often watch some of your videos. Oh, wow, that's really cool. That makes me feel good. Cool. that's neat because I went to groups like that for years as a kid, and those were definitely inspiring to me to keep carving, and all the people, the old folks in those groups were very encouraging and gave me tools and wood and, you know, as those carving groups do. I still have a VHS somewhere at my parents' house that I never returned to Frankenmuth. So sorry, Frankenmuth. I didn't mean to steal it. I just forgot it at my parents' house. I really should go back there and send it back, but problem is no one really has VHS players anymore anyway, so probably wouldn't even do anything with it. How did I get on that, huh? How did I get on? I don't know. I have not tried Cypress. It's hands-free, so a different way of carving is why I asked. Right. Yeah, it is different. All right, there's the 30-minute timer. I think Jesus probably did hand carving just starting out. That's what Sweetwater says. Really love your channel. That's a cool thought. That's a very cool thought. All right. See, this is the problem with the knife. You can't quite get in tight areas with it. And so that's why the skew is truly one of my favorite tools for relief carving like this, because it just it's so much better at getting in tight areas around the eyes, and an amazing tool. You did great, fast too. Wow, thanks, Daniel. Thank you. I'm going to try something different here. What if I make the leaves just kind of come across instead of come out from the... Go less mythical creature and more dude hiding in the woods. You know? Probably a better theme anyway. Let's try that. Let's just experiment. Let's see. Well, we'll have to layer if we're doing that. So to layer, I'm going to have to bring this down. But I don't want to take too much out of the mouth area. Otherwise, things will start looking a little weird. So I'm going to have to reduce this down as well. think through this with a pencil. Do something like this. I'll have another one coming around here. Let's do that. Let's try it. Probably not quite as cute this way, but or the cottonwood leaves. Yeah, they kind of do look like cottonwood leaves. I haven't seen the upsweep skew of yours in a while. Do you still possess it? Yeah, I do. I just haven't used it as much lately because, I don't know. I guess I've just been favoring the smaller ones. Here it is. Still good to use. In fact, probably just needed a reminder. I forget about tools sometimes because this is a really nice tool. Yeah, sometimes I just fall out of the habit of using a certain tool. For whatever reason. Okay, so now the leaf looks like it's coming from the side here, coming out this way, which is a little bit less evil looking. Oh, man. Kind of fun. All right, cool. And that mouth is pretty well hidden, so I'm going to have to bring this down so as to make sure it doesn't look too protrusive, the nose area in relationship to the mouth because of that leaf bringing it down. Thanks, Doug, for watching. Hey, Kevin. Have a great day, Doug. Are they different types of, how dulling is cottonwood on chisels? Probably more so than some other woods, because it has sand and dirt in it. Is that a beavercraft? Is beavercraft skew a good one? Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've had good luck with it. I've heard that they have some quality control issues. Some people have said, like, for instance, their axes aren't particularly good, whereas I had a pretty good experience. But yeah, I like it. I think I gave mine away to somebody because they were asking about it. No, I didn't. Here it is. See, I made myself out to be more generous than I am. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot bigger than the one that I typically use. Here's the one that I typically use, and then here's the beavercraft. So it's definitely bigger, but still the same concept and a good tool. It's just a little bit more difficult to use on a smaller carving like this because you're running the risk of trying to carve here and then bumping the nose with this big hook at the back. So it's just maybe be better suited to a little bit larger carvings. Maybe that's my one hesitation on it. But I think it's good. I'm excited to see that they made that too. You could always shave it down too with a grinder. I may end up modifying mine. Cool. Put a leaf up here because it's already kind of there. I could do this all day, guys. I should probably let you go and get back to some other projects here. Got a commission to work on today, and I've got a couple of commissions to button up here this month. Well, yeah. So, and I've enjoyed this. This is like my social time for the day, kind of. Just got back from holiday. I'll be doing some videos soon. There you go. Let's see. I could watch till you're done, Daniel says. Can you share the commissions you're working on? Oh yeah, Lucas, you'd appreciate this. I was commissioned to do a crucifix, small one, much smaller than yours. And I've got the body kind of blocked in, the torso roughly blocked in, still not down to the correct size. Just kind of finding it in there. I don't know, what will it be? 19 inches tall? The cross itself, the members of the body itself. So, and I've got a Native American bust that I'm doing here, and this is kind of a practice I did for it. I'll show you that really quick. It's not quite done. This isn't done yet, but there's kind of a practice piece, and that'll be just a little bit smaller than that one, so maybe 16 inches or 14 inches. Yeah, so that's that. This is really not a realistic type carving. This is more of a caricaturized carving that I'm doing here. If you look at the profile. Roy says he's still waiting to get the book. He's ordered it, but it hasn't come yet. All right. Yeah, Amazon's a little bit slower, apparently, than Fox. So if you order it from Fox Chapel's website, it'll come quicker. But yeah, those of you who've already ordered it through Amazon, it's coming your way eventually. I think their release date's, again, it's a little later than the other, like Barnes & Noble or all that. Ooh, he just got gaunt all of a sudden. Kind of weird. Cool. Did I do a clay model first? No, Lucas. I didn't. I ought to have, but I just did a. I'm just going straight to it. I say I ought to have, but we'll see, I guess. Little asymmetry there. Okay, enough fun for me today. Adios, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, Kevin and Lucas and all you guys who are, commenting. Appreciate the engagement. That's fun to talk to everyone. What kind of wood is it? Hey, Alicio, it's cottonwood bark. Greetings from Italy. Hello. Do I draw Sweetwaters? Yes, yeah, I do draw, but not very often. I started out liking drawing and painting first and then carving, but really was not. It was kind of, they both kind of came up at a similar time, though. Really, both of them at the same time, so. Samuel says, hey, Alec, thanks for the video. All right. See you guys, Daniel. Appreciate you. I'll finish this at a different time. This is a good warm-up. See, now, pardon me. Can you... This is... the indecisive part of me wants to add veins now to this. I'm thinking, how long would that take to add some veins? But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to resist temptation. I'm going to get back to work. A little bit of a late start today, so... All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you. Oh, yeah, and check out the book. Check out the book. Here it is. Yeah, 120 pages, 8 chapters. It's in the link. I linked it in the description of this video. So, all right, guys. See ya.